What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the CT70 wide body build for the Great Amercian Monkey 1000, kicking off next weekend. If you're paying close attention behind me, you can see that I have changed my mind again on a few things, which I want to share with you. And that's why I said on the last video that there was probably going to be one more update on the project before we head out. As it stands right now, I have 3 more days until I get on the road. I'm leaving on Thursday, the 25th of September, to head to Utah. So today I took it out for its first ride, fully loaded with everything in the bags to kind of get an idea of how it handled with the extra weight. I'd never ridden it that way before. It was a little eye-opening. I didn't quite expect things to be the way they were. Not that there's a problem, but just it rides different, obviously, with 150 pounds of extra stuff on there. I did play around a little bit with my new camera on that, and surprisingly, unintentionally got caught in some rain, which wasn't really looking forward to having happen. I didn't have any rain gear on or anything like that. So let me just share that footage with you real quick. You can kind of see how she rides now with all this weight on it. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to walk you through kind of where things have left off and, what, if anything, is left to do before we leave on Thursday. Enjoy the ride. All right, we're back from the ride. Time to do the daily dozen here and go through the rundown of what we've changed again since the last time you saw this. So something that should be jumping right out at you right away is this box. As I started to begin packing and whatnot, I realized that I just was not going to have enough space, especially at the time I was still using those smaller bags that I showed you on the last video because I said I just didn't like the big bags and all the extra straps. Well, guess where we're at now? We're on the big bags. The small bags weren't going to cut it. So I did end up cutting off a mountain of strappage from the 2 big bags that I didn't need. So I feel a little bit better about that now. And then in adventure bike fashion, I went ahead and added this box. Weight-wise, I think I probably added maybe 4 pounds. That box is like a composite material. It is not heavy at all. And then, of course, we've tricked her out with the Great Amercian Monkey 1000 decals on both sides, and then these body decals that are specially made for the Great Amercian Monkey 1000. You can read that. It's kind of funny. There's some funny stuff on there. Let's see. What else is new here? Oh, got new decals with the Honda lettering to match this Dax lettering, courtesy of G-Force Graphics. I'll put a link to their eBay store down in the description for you. I'm pretty sure we had the front bag on there before. I actually have to now strap it down when it's up on the rack with all this weight on there. My bags are pretty much fully loaded minus spare fuel. And let's see, also had to put the ramp on my lift. She's just a little too heavy to manhandle up on there. So got a cool CT70 sticker here on the back. And here you can see the size of those bags fully packed out. I'll tell you what really screwed me over on packing was the camping gear. We're only camping for one night because we have to, unless we get into a situation where we're stranded, but kind of sucks having to carry all that stuff just for one night. I just as soon just sleep on the ground in a sleeping bag, but you never know. See this one here? This vehicle is not suitable for human operators. Anyone operating this vehicle is obviously an idiot and should be approached with extreme caution. I have also, if you've been paying close attention, you'll notice that I don't have those fuel bottles hanging around everywhere that I talked so much about, the 1 liter fuel bottles. I found a different solution. And it's going to be, I think, a lot cleaner and easier to manage out on the trail. Think Camelback for fuel. There's a company that, I forget the name of it, I think it's called Big Loop something or other. It's called an armadillo bag. And it's like a fuel bladder. I bought the 1 gallon bladder that I plan to strap to the top of this box. Nice thing about it is when you're done, you can roll it up and it takes up hardly no space once you've emptied the gas out of it. It'd be a lot easier to fill as well because it's got a standard size opening versus those bottles I was carrying. I think the gas pump would have just fit in there, and I just kept having visions of myself spraying gas all over the place and myself every day we went to fill up. So now let's talk about what's not done. So one thing I noticed that's nice about this box is it makes a really nice backrest. I don't normally sit quite that far back on the seat, but it's in just the right spot where I feel comfortable kind of leaning back on it. I am going to have to bring my handlebars back just a couple degrees, which I think I was going to do anyway. I thought I needed that additional, I guess, space for the length of my arms, but actually it's kind of an uncomfortable riding position, at least for me. I know a lot of guys do run their bars kind of tilted to the forward position. I don't think I'm that guy. Let's see, what else? We had a mishap, fellas. So once I added all this weight on here, I am now bottoming out the tire on the back lip of the fender. As you can see, it's all bent up. That was a little scary the first time it happened. I wasn't sure what was going on. I just heard a really strange noise. Figured out what it was, so I stopped and I adjusted my rear shocks to be a little stiffer. That helped, but it didn't help enough because this bend right here happened after I adjusted the shocks. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna bob this fender off about right here, and then that should be more than enough. If not, when we get out there, if it turns into a big issue, I'll probably just take it off. And then the other thing that I've been on the fence about, and you know, I'm gonna tell it like it is because I should. I've been telling you guys about all these cool parts I've been buying. This brake pedal, for me at least, and probably for most, I talked to one other person who has the same opinion, is a no-go. So without any of the extra weight on here, the way this pedal and all the leverage points are set up and the shape of it and everything does not give you enough leverage to fully apply the back brakes, especially to the point where if I felt like I needed to lock up the back brakes to lay this thing down or something, I wouldn't be able to do it. So once I added all the weight of the gear, the rear brake was pretty much not even a thing. Like I had to practically stand on that pedal to get it to even feel like the brakes were doing something. So that has to get changed before I leave. I think I'll probably take the one off my Ice Bear Champion, which I know works, and it's just basically a standard CT70 style brake pedal. Just cross my fingers that there's not something crazy going on with the size of the shaft that it mounts on. If there is, then I don't know what I'm going to do, short of maybe ordering something and having it delivered in Utah and putting it on when I get out there. I do not feel comfortable getting on the trails like that, let alone, to be honest with you, just riding on the highway with other traffic. I don't feel like I can get stopped as quick as I need to. Yes, I know, front brake, but I can't do 100% of my braking with my front brake. With that big old disc brake, it's going to flip me over. So yeah, things you learn. I'm glad I learned it today and not Wednesday, because it would have been just a crisis at that point. So as you can see, we're loaded down. Not much is going to change as far as the loadout goes between now and Thursday. I do have my first aid kit in this bag, and something I bought a while back had a little Velcro patch with the first aid thing. I thought, well, let me put that on there in case somebody finds me at the bottom of a canyon needing first aid. They'll know where to find my first aid kit. All right, so that's pretty much it for the update on the bike. Let's get you closed out here. All right, guys, well, that's gonna pretty much do it for the last update on this big project before we head out for the Great American Monkey 1000. As you can see, it's never too late to do those final checks, and I'm glad that I took the time this weekend to really lay this stuff out and kind of go through the motions of what I'm gonna be doing while I'm out there. I've discovered some issues that absolutely must be addressed. This is probably going to be the last regular video you see from me for a while. The next one you see is probably going to be of the event itself. And you know, if you're a loyal follower of the channel, or if you're not subscribed, you should. It doesn't cost you anything. I will be doing a complete, you know, video series on this 1 week long adventure that myself and some of my buddies are going on in one of the most beautiful places in the country. So please stay tuned and make sure that you come check out those videos here. It's probably going to be about 2.5 weeks. In the meantime, while I'm out on the trail, I don't normally do this, but I probably will post a daily short update at a minimum. You know, that stuff doesn't really require a whole lot of editing, and it'll give you a way to kind of follow along on the journey with me as I go through it. So looking forward to this big thing. You know, it's something I'll probably only do once in my life, maybe again, who knows? I don't think so, but we'll see. So anyhow, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.